Yo, what up? It's your boy, Mr. E, and today we're going to talk about gross and net income. So, we're going to start off our lesson with what the definitions of gross and net income are. So, gross income is the individual's total pay from his or her employer before taxes or other deductions. Net income is the amount of money a person receives after taxes or other deductions are taken out. So the big important thing here is for gross income, that's going to happen before taxes and deductions are taken out. And with net income, it's how much you make after taxes and deductions are taken out. Another thing that I always remember is that your gross income will always be bigger. Always, always, always. You're going to have a much bigger number in your gross income than your net income. That is always going to be smaller. And as you can see in the picture, the gross has a bigger rectangle, the net has a smaller rectangle. So let's take a minute to talk about these things, okay? So let's think about gross income. So gross income is the amount of money that you and your boss agree on you making before any taxes, any deductions, anything is taken out of. And actually, a fun fact is gross income comes from, or the word gross comes from a German word that actually means big. So when I think of gross, I think of big. So my money is bigger when I have gross income. Now, there was a visual that I did for my students when we learned about gross and income where I'd take Monopoly money, I'd throw it up in the air, and then I'd catch as much of it with my net. Unfortunately, we can't do that with distant learning, but I think I have a small trick I can do for you. So we're going to throw our money up in the air, get our net out, and the money flies down. And everything that we catch within the net is called our net income. The stuff that falls to the ground are your taxes, are your deductions, are your other things that are being taken away before it even hits your bank account. So your net income is actually what will go into your bank account, and the gross income is what you agree on before all those taxes and deductions happen, okay? So again, taxes are some things that are the money that fall to the ground, and so are insurances like dental insurance, vision insurance, life insurance, medical insurance. Those things get taken out before you get that net income, okay? So just taking a look about my paycheck, my gross income is around $4,600. But then after all the taxes and all the insurance and all the benefit stuff is taken out, this is what actually hits my bank account. So you can see it's actually a pretty big difference. And that has me wondering, where is all my money? But I do know it's going to good things because taxes helps pay for a lot of the public services that I use every single day. And those benefits come really, really important when I need those, okay? So let's take a look at a gross income and net income problem that you might see. So this employee is Joe Exotic. Oh, hey, Joe Exotic. Oh, looks like he's going to get Carol Baskins. Those two are always up to no good. But we're going to take a look at what Joe Exotic's net income would be after all his deductions got taken out, okay? The way I like to think about this one is this is a lot like a order of operations problem. We're going to start with our total, okay? And our total is 630. Then we're going to subtract a whole bunch of things. And what I like to do is I like to put this in parentheses. So we're going to add $31.50, $50.40. Then I'm going to add $64.23. Okay. So that is going to be my equation. So I'm going to add all of these deductions up first, and then I'm going to subtract that from my total. So when I add all of these together, I know you guys would love to see me sit down and actually add all these things together, but I got a total of $146.13. And then just like we do with the triangle method, we bring down the rest of our equation, and then we rewrite the rest that we have. So then our final step would be 630 minus $146.13, and that's going to get us $483.87. So again, our gross income always is going to be bigger. We started with $630. We took out all of our deductions. That's our taxes, that's our insurance, that's our benefits and things like that. And then what actually hits the bank account is our net income. And our net income is always going to be smaller than our gross income, okay? So hopefully you learned a thing or two about gross and net income. If you have any questions, please ask your teachers or ask your parents, because your parents are pros at knowing about this financial literacy stuff. We love you guys. We miss you guys, and we'll see you later. Bye. Yo, what up? It's your boy, Mr. E, and today we're going to talk a little bit about financial records. So we've learned a whole lot about taxes, about gross and net income. Now we're going to talk a little bit about how we can be better organized so that we can be financially ready for our future. So let's talk a little bit about a couple definitions that are important for us to know. The first one is budget. A budget is a plan for the income a person or company receives and has allotted for spending and how it will be spent, such as for rent, gas, groceries, clothing. So basically just think of like you writing down a plan of how you're going to spend the money that you earn, okay? And there's two different types of things we can record with our budget. We can record income or expenses. Income is the money earned from working, investments, or doing business. I just noticed that I wrote earned twice. That's awkward, but we're just going to flow with it. Expense is the amount of money that is needed to pay for or buy something. So income is money that you're making. Expenses are money that you're spending. So let's talk a little bit about financial records here, okay? So when I think about income, I think about positives. I think about plus, it's a good thing, money's coming my way. When I think of expenses, I think of negative, I'm losing money, it's no longer in there, okay? So think about it like this. Income means money is going into your bank account. So if money is going into your bank account, that's a good thing, that's income. If money is leaving your bank account, that is considered an expense, okay? So let's talk about the different types of incomes and expenses. There's fixed and there's variable. So when it comes to fixed income, I think about like a salary. So a salary for me is an agreed upon money that you have with your employer, and you make that every single month, no matter what. You have a couple sick days, if there's holidays, it doesn't matter. You're going to earn that amount of money. Fixed means that you always will have that monthly, okay? So when it comes to fixed expenses, we think about things that are the same price every single month. Your rent is usually going to be the same amount every single month. If you have a car payment, you're going to probably pay the exact same amount every single month. Not that I have a Tesla or anything like that. And also like your internet bill. Your internet bill is usually something you agree upon in advance, and you pay the same amount every single time. So when I think of the word fixed, that means it's fixed on that number. It doesn't change, it stays the same every single time. Now, the word variable, which is a word that you guys are familiar with, not only in math, but in science as well, means that it's changing. So you might do jobs on the side where you make a different amount of money every month depending on something. So I think of like lawn mowing as a good variable income, because in the months of summer, you might earn a lot of money for mowing lawns, but in the months of autumn and winter, you're probably not going to earn as much money. So that is a variable that's changing. You're not going to earn the same amount. I could say the same thing about babysitting, other jobs that you don't always get the same amount every single month, okay? When it comes to variable expenses, I think of things like groceries. You may spend a little bit more one month than another month, just depending on the different types of foods and different types of recipes you're cooking. Gas can be a variable. For me, I'm spending like no money on gas because I'm not driving at all. And shopping, like we sometimes shop for clothes, but we might not need new clothes every single month. So that could be something that changes from month to month. Now, when we make budgets, sometimes we set aside a certain amount of money, but we might know that we might not use all that money, or we might go a little over certain months. So again, fixed means it stays the same. Variable means it changes, okay? So let's think about savings and donations. Are savings and donations going to be income or expenses? It is considered an expense. And I know that's kind of confusing, because if I'm saving money, it's money that I'm giving to myself. Or if I'm giving a donation, I don't think of a donation as an expense because it's not something that is a bad thing. A donation's a good thing. The reason why they're considered expenses, like we said earlier, is it's money that's in your bank account that is leaving your bank account and going somewhere else. Even though a savings account would be your own account too, it's still leaving your bank account. So you need to consider it an expense. It's not considered income. Same thing with donations, okay? So when we make budgets, we want to make sure that they are balanced. You don't want to have way too much income or way too many expenses. You want to try to keep it as balanced as possible. If you lean a little bit more to the side of having more income than expenses, that's always a great thing, but being balanced is always great. Oh, what's this?
Perfectly balanced. So things should be.
You're right, Thanos. Perfectly balanced as all things should be. All right, let's take a look at a problem that has to do with gross and net income, okay? So it says Benny is taking a look at his finances. Every month he spends $150 on groceries, $50 on internet bill, $25 on gym fees, $30 on gas, gives $15 for donations, and puts $10 away for his savings. Benny wants to have a balanced budget. How much income does he need a month in order to accomplish this? So what we would need to do is we would need to take a look at how much income he needs compared to his expenses, okay? So we'll go income on this side. We'll draw a line. And usually when you have a budget, you put your income all on one side and you put your expenses on one side, okay? So expenses go on this side. So we don't know Benny's income, but we know that he wants to have a balanced income. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to take a look at the differences between their income and their expenses, okay? So we know that he spends $150 on groceries. We know that he spends another $50 on the internet bill, $25 on the gym fees, $30 on gas, $15 on donations, and $10 on savings. And remember, we said that donations and savings, those are considered expenses because they're leaving his bank account, okay? So we're just gonna add these bad boys or bad girls together. 5 plus 5 would get us 10. Carry the 1 over here. 1 plus 5 is 6, plus 5 is 11, 13, 16, 17, 18. We carry the 1. And 1 plus 1 is 2. So it looks like to me, Benny's going to need to make around $280 to have a balanced budget, okay? So that would mean his income would be equal to his expenses, okay? So $280 a month, Benny, for you to have a balanced income or balanced budget, okay? So I hope you learned a little bit about how we can record finances and how we can make sure that we have a balanced budget. We will talk a little bit more about that in the next video. We love you guys. We miss you guys a lot, and I'll see you later. Bye.